Yay, happy Monday, and welcome to our Team Sweaty Lovely Life team call. I'm very excited about tonight's topic. It's something that I've had to reschedule, and I planned to talk about it a couple weeks ago, but I'm actually kind of glad that it didn't work out because I think that right now is probably the perfect time for everyone to just kind of hit a little reset button. I don't know why, but for some reason, July, you guys have to understand that this year kind of goes in seasons. Um, it's hard to explain, but middle of the summer, here we are heading into July. People are busy, people are traveling, people are not very focused on putting their health and fitness first, if that makes sense. Some people are, obviously, but some people really aren't. And you guys have to just kind of understand that piece of what we do. Same thing like going into the fall is always kind of a lull because of back to school. And again, people are busy. And then, middle of winter, same thing. So this is just kind of like how it goes. So anyway, I know that this month has been hard for some of you guys. So I'm excited to hopefully give you guys a little bit of fire, a little bit of inspiration, and some tips that you guys can apply. And maybe some of it you're doing, but maybe some of it you're not. And like, I am a firm believer that if it's not working, if something's not working, you don't just stop, you pivot. Okay. You try something new and just keep trying at things until you find what's working. Okay. So let me share my screen. And let's just do a little bit of quick announcements, and I'll do our leaderboard. So we had virtual summit this last week, which was so not what real summit is like, you guys, but I'm glad that they did it and it was cool. There's so much amazing training, you guys. So one of the awesome things about summit is that there is training. So wherever you're at, whatever level you're at when you get to summit, whether you're an emerald coach, diamond coach, star diamond or above, you get put into a training track. So last year it was super cool. And so the speakers and people that come to speak to you, they give you training based off of where you're at in your business. Okay. So it's super specialized and just like really meant to, again, like so much value, and you're hearing from like the top coaches in the company. So what's amazing about the fact that this was virtual is like there is so much free training out there that you maybe would not have gotten if you were at Summit Live this year. Okay. So Beachbody Champions page, I think it's unit 10 is where all of the recordings are. So make sure you go check that out. Instead of listening to old training calls or whatever this week, go listen to that. Okay. Because that is so valuable. Okay. So the summit ticket is on special right now for $135. I do not know when that is going to end, so I would snag that right now. Okay. I know that I have gotten mine, Shannon's gotten hers, Rachel's gotten hers, Alex has gotten hers. There is a new coach ticket special for when people first sign up as a coach. I'm not certain on this, so please go check the FAQ or look it up. I want to say that the coach special ticket, which is $150, only lasts that 3-month period, maybe the 6-month period. I'm not positive though. So if you are a new coach, know that if you don't snag it, you might still be able to take advantage of that, but I wouldn't risk it. $135 is still going to save you $15. I would go for it. The MBFA sample workout is out as of today. So I know I started MBF today. I'm so excited. The challenge packs are still available for the coaches till 7/26, or on sale, I should say. They're available till 7/26, and then the customer challenge packs open up on the 27th. I am still working on planning our diamond retreat. I've been talking to some other coach friends of mine about what they are doing with their teams because of COVID. I didn't realize that some states are still have like a travel ban, and we have a lot of girls that are like across the country. So I am still planning that out, and I will announce it as soon as I have the details figured out. All right. So let's go over our leaderboard. So pretty barren right now, over halfway through the month, but I'm hoping after tonight we will see some fire on this leaderboard. Okay, so I myself am at SC13. Alex is at SC9. Shannon is at SC6, and then we have a few ladies that are life or two changed. But like I said, I am not going to get caught up in this, and you shouldn't either. There's still plenty of time, and hopefully, like I said, after tonight you will have some new fire, new inspiration for you to maybe go out and get after it. Okay, so tonight's call is all about the basics. So I don't know, when I was thinking about like how to really go about this, like this is honestly what it is. Like anytime that I feel like I'm struggling, and I will be honest, these last 10, 11 months, I don't even know. I was pregnant for 9. Yeah. These last like 11 months I know this is true for all of us. It's just been one thing after the other, like life events, family things, all sorts of things, relationship things, all kind of going on, COVID, like all of this has been happening, right? And like one thing that I really don't like to focus on, and something like this is just a little bit of tough love coming from me if you don't really know me. I know that we all could sit in a circle, or we all could like go each take turns and give off a laundry list of, responsibilities that we have. We could all talk about, how busy our schedule is, like we could talk about all those stuff and drama that's going on in our lives, because I know we all have it at any given point. But you guys, that doesn't serve us, okay? And that's the point. We all have that busy. We all have that struggle. At some point, we are all, at any given point, one of us is struggling in our business or struggling with our self identity or just our own confidence, right? Because we are ever evolving beings. We are growing constantly. And that's honestly the beauty of this business. It's going to feel hard. It's going to feel hard a lot of time, okay? But you have to start to understand and train yourself that these hard times are actually good signs, okay? Because it means that you're growing. It means that you are coming up on the next hurdle that you are meant to face. It means that you are like, getting into an uncomfy area. You're getting uncomfortable, which is pushing you forward, okay? What do we hear all the time? Like nothing grows in comfort zones. You are growing even if you don't feel like you are, okay? You are becoming a better coach, a better leader, a better, you're becoming a better you, a better wife, spouse, mother, whatever it is. I truly believe in that, okay? So when in doubt, these are some of the tips and stuff that I want you to kind of go back to, all right? Because when you feel kind of like you're out there in the abyss all by yourself and you're struggling, you're really not, okay? So just take it back, all right? Keep it simple. So my number one tip is to focus on you, all right? We hear this all the time. We hear this like, it's like the number one quote we talk about in our coaching community. Focus on yourself, everything else will fall into place. But it's true, okay? You first, and if you aren't already, and I'm sure most of you are, but you need to commit to a program, all right? It's always starts with us. We are the leaders of the pack, okay? If we need to commit to our own self-care, our own health and fitness, our own results, all right? So commit to a program, commit to your nutrition. Like, if just be honest with yourself, okay? Oh my God, this weird dot. I've never had that before. Interesting. If you guys are just hopping on, just make sure you mute yourselves. Commit to your personal growth, so your personal development, and commit to your why, all right? This is probably the number one most important one, is really coming back to your why, okay? And as a new coach, this is probably like the thing that you really need to focus on the most, other than committing to your own journey, is you need to really commit to that why you're here, okay? What is it that you're really trying to achieve with coaching? What is that big vision, that long-term vision, those short goals that you have? You need to commit to that, right? You need to treat it and take it seriously. Like I said, fall in love with the growth process, okay? I would say it probably took me like, I don't know, it probably took me almost a year to really kind of fall in love with that growth process. And what it really is, you guys, is it's falling in love with the vitals. It's falling in love with that, process every single day of, your daily routine of pouring into yourself, of showing up, of pressing play, having those endorphins, showing up in your community. You start to see like that you give, you're always going to get back. Like we give back as coaches so much, like constantly, but it's something that we don't always see it. Okay. So just fall in love with that growth process. All right. And again, I'm going to get into more detail of how to go about that, but you also need to put your blinders on. So something that we all get caught up in, and I'm so guilty of this, and I was really guilty. Like I was really bad at it when I was, pushing for like star diamond and 2-star. So basically 2019, all of 2019, I was in comparisonitis mode, like comparing myself to all these top coaches, elite coaches, girls that I had seen at New Leadership Conference, and that were, like I said, hitting elite, hitting their goals, leaving jobs, paying, doing the things. And I was comparing myself to them, right? It's one of the things that really set me back last year. Going into the fall, I kind of had this wake up call that I had been doing this, and particularly like with leaving my nursing job, I was comparing myself because I didn't think, and I was letting that comparison fill my mind with false beliefs. Okay. So you need to put your blinders on and know that you are the only one in this race. No one's going to show up for your vision. No one's going to run your business. And this is, at the end of the day, your life. Okay. And no one like gets an opinion of how you run your life. Okay. So when you think about it like that, like when we go back to inviting one-on-one, like it's not about you. It's like, it's not about you. If someone says no, well, it's not about anybody else except you when it comes to your life and your business. Okay. So my next tip is love on yourself. Like get an accountability buddy for this. Like I know, like I'm totally text Shannon like all the time. Like I need some, like when I'm looking for inspiration or when I just need like a little bit of a boost, like go to your friend, go to your success partner, go to your coach, and just like ask for help, right? Ask for just a little bit of like, I just need a little bit of love kind of right now, or I need some like inspiration. Okay. And I promise you it helps. Okay. But also just remember, like, this is why I write affirmations every morning, right? I write out gratitude every morning. I write out affirmations every morning because I need to remind myself every single day of who I am and what I'm working towards. Okay. And like I said, let the chips fall as they may, okay? People are going to always have an opinion, but I promise you they'll get less and less and less the more that you just show up and do it, and for like basically like don't give a fuck. Like just don't. Because like at the end of the day, you showing up and doing you is going to inspire people, and it's going to get rid of the people in your life that you really probably don't even really want there. Okay. Is it hard at first? Yes. We come from comfort zones, right? So the people, like I will say, like a lot of like my nursing friends, those are probably the biggest skeptics of them all when I first started coaching. Okay. Did they really come out and tell me that they were, judging me or whatever? No. Can we tell? Kind of, yeah. But at the same time, there was some of them that completely surprised me and came out of nowhere and were like all about doing this with me, or after a little bit of watching me, they were totally inspired and then came along. Same thing with family, same things with other friends or people I went to high school with, or just random strangers. You guys, like, you are going to attract your tribe, but you have to show up and be you to do that. Okay. So make room for your people. All right. And show up for them. Just some will, some won't. So what? Keep going. Okay. And adopt that never gonna quit mentality. So this is something like when you feel like quitting, you've got to have that reserve. You've got to have, or that resolve, I should say, that you're not like, you may feel like quitting, and yeah, you can go through the scenarios of the what ifs. So like, what if I quit today and what would happen? But I don't know about you, but every single time I think about that, it's never worth it to me. It's like, it's never a real idea. It's never a real possibility because I am so committed, not just to myself. And, take coaching away, I could never stop doing what I do every single day. I would never stop doing my workouts. I would never stop doing my self-care. Granted, I didn't even know how to do that until I started joining this community and started coaching. So thank you, coaching. But I am so committed to my why. Like, I am not going to quit until I pay off all my debt, until we are able to, live the life that we want to live. And I'm never going to quit because I'm not showing up just for me. I'm showing up for my family. Okay. Tip number 2 is focus on your consistency. And this is probably, I hope you take notes on this, or I hope that this really drives home for you, but you need to create a routine. You need to create a routine you enjoy, but you also need to create a routine that honors you, that honors your season of life that you're in, honors your boundaries. Okay. Now this is where, like I said, 2019, 2019 was kind of just like a little bit of a shit show. It was a great year, but it was also a little bit of a shit show because I went full time with coaching in the beginning of the year, but I went per diem with nursing, basically some part-time hours. But what I didn't do, and this is what I want you to be aware of, what I didn't do is I didn't switch up like how I was working my business. I was still working, but yeah, I was pronouncing to my team, pronouncing to myself, pronouncing to, the public that I was a full-time coach. And I was not able to put in full-time time. Okay. I was still spread pretty thin in dealing with working with the hospital. My schedule wasn't as predictable as it used to be when I was full-time. So, and I was traveling more and I was doing all these things. So I was not honoring my season. I was not honoring my boundaries. And what started to happen is I started to get really anxious. And what started to happen is I started to not, I started thinking, started and I started doing too much, but I wasn't doing it well. Okay. So it took me a long time to realize that, until, like I said, end of the summer, beginning of the fall, when I realized, after I finally left the hospital, I realized I still wasn't feeling happy because I still wasn't honoring my season, because I worked so hard to get to be a full-time coach and to make my own schedule. And yet I was still trying to get up at 4 a.m. or, for as early as I was when I was working full-time. I was still trying to work the hours that I was working when I was working full-time as a nurse, when I was doing this on the side. Okay. And it wasn't allowing me any room for joy. It wasn't allowing me to, again, have that flexibility I worked so hard for. And finally, again, I gave myself permission, like, I need to find a routine that works and honors my boundaries. So first off, you need to set boundaries. Okay. If you are a mom, or if you have a full-time job, or if you're in a relationship or anything, you need, like, those, you have priorities, right? That are outside of this business. We all do. So you have to figure out what matters to you. Do you, when do you need to be done working, unplugged for the day? When do you, when do you need to be in mom mode, or when are you working and you're not able to get on your phone, or when do you literally, like, what kind of, like, when do you want to not be working at all, or when do you just want to be able to go do whatever you want to do? Okay. You have to honor that. You have to think of that, and you have to plan around it, because it doesn't it doesn't, like it goes into my next point. You need to treat this like a business. It does, just because you have or wear many hats, like I said in the beginning, just because you're busy or you have all these responsibilities doesn't take away your responsibility to your why and to your business. Okay. So you need to treat it like a business and show up for it. But that also takes a little bit of work in just planning around your schedule and your boundaries. Okay. Because you are the CEO of your business. You're the CEO of your life. Okay. So you need to, this is where personal development comes in. for you to understand that you are literally in control of everything. You're in control of whether you succeed and you're in control of whether you fail, okay? Because the only way you fail is if you quit. But if you're a CEO, CEOs don't get to just walk away from, their job. They don't just get to walk away from their responsibilities, or they don't get to walk away from, what they're working towards, okay? You have to show up, all right? So be intentional so you can create more space. Like I say this a lot, and I'll say it, we'll talk about it. I'll say it all the time. I was busier, like it's a different kind of busy. Like I feel like by being intentional, by working those pockets, those set pockets that I have made for myself, I created more time. Like I'm on my phone less now as a full-time coach than I was before I ever started coaching. Like I am less like tuned in now than I ever was before. It's because I'm intentional about when I sit down to do the things I need to do for my business, like making this PowerPoint, or doing stuff for my boot camp, and or doing my invites every day. Like I have set times that I'm going to get that done, and it's move on to the next, go mom, go be, whatever you are. Okay. So being intentional is what's going to make life so much less stressful for you, because you're going to be so efficient with the time that you have, that you're going to be able to go and do other things, right? And you're going to be able to go and wear all those other hats, and you're going to not only see your business grow, but you're going to see your confidence grow, because you've taken that ownership of your time. Okay. So my third tip is to focus on your people. All right. So if you are someone that struggles with comparison, if you're someone, or you are a new coach and you're really struggling with that one, caring what other people think of you thing, we all feel that way. Oh my God, that was one of my biggest things. Like I said, I worried so much about my coworkers. I worried a lot about my family and just my friends, just what they were going to think of me, because, that's what we all do. We all inherently care what other people think of us. Okay. But that's a very small place to live. That's a very small way of thinking. The way I like to think about it and is like, we are the lucky ones, because we are working on ourselves. Our job is to look at ourselves in the mirror and look at our insecurities and to work on them, to build that confidence. And as you do that, I promise you're going to realize why people are so insecure, realize why we care so much what other people think of us. And it's because it's a reflection of what's going on inside. So when you think of that, when you can think of it like that, you can understand, like, someone else, saying, being nasty to you or judging you or whatever, it is not about you. It is about them. Okay. So you have to show up and be the coach and challenger you want to coach. Be the coach and challenger you want to be, or that you want around you. Okay. Be the person that you want around you. All right. Treat your challengers like you would your friends. Okay. So show up for them. That's it. That's all I really mean by that, is show up for them and just cheer them on and show support. And if you realize that you've gone a few days or it's been a couple weeks and you haven't heard from them, like, go check in on them. Okay. Don't forget about them. All right. And again, as you grow your business, like, there's so many ways that you can keep in touch with your people. And it's not about being, you can't make people do anything. Okay. You can't make people use the products or do their workout or whatever, but you can be a good human. You can be a good coach and do your job by checking in and by, circling back around and making sure that you see the people that are showing up in your boot camp, cheering them on. And like I said, people that aren't showing up, you can check in on them. That's it. I don't know why I rambled on for so long for that. Pour your energy into those who are showing up alongside you. So this, you can portray this to your boot camp. If you're getting really hung up on like people not showing up in your boot camp, well, focus on the people that are. Okay. cheer on the people that are, because, you know, I don't know where I heard this, but like FOMO is the best tool ever. And it's not just about creating FOMO like in your social media, but create FOMO in your team, create FOMO in your community, okay? Like everyone loves to be recognized, everyone loves to be cheered on. So go cheer on those people that are showing up, because the other people, and shout them out in your stories. And, you know, again, you don't have to use specifics, you don't have to use pictures or, you know, faces or anything like that, but shout them out, because your people are watching. They are. I don't know why this is, but like tons of the people, like they might not show up in the boot camp, but they watch my stories every single day. Okay. So I know they're seeing, you know, these recognitions I'm doing. I know they're seeing these new people that are coming in, and you guys, that plants seeds. Okay. So if you're wanting to spark the energy back in your boot camp, or you're wanting to spark the energy, like focus on the people who are showing up. Same thing with coaches. Okay. If you're at that point in your business and you're trying to, you know, inspire your coaches to, you know, show up with you or do this alongside you can't make people do anything. Okay. You cannot make people show up and work their business. You can't make people want their why bad enough to go do the things. So focus on the people that are. Be appreciative and grateful for the people that are. For the people that reach out and message you randomly. For the people that you see that are showing up on their stories when they haven't yet, or they message you asking for advice about how to send an invite. Cheer on those people. Okay, pour your energy into those people. Let the other people go. Okay, because that's not going to help you, and it's not going to help them, and it's probably going to just push them away. All right, show up every day. Okay, because that's not just, again, it's not just about you. It's about your why, but it's also about your people. Your people are looking to you to show up. Like I said, people are not always in my boot camp, or, you know, like my coaches might not be always, you know, you might think they're not watching you. Okay. So you need to lead from the front, and you need to show up every single day, because regardless of how, and this is, I can speak to this, especially these last few weeks, regardless of how, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. You are human. We're all human, and we're all busy. So I am very honest with the fact that I've been struggling these last few weeks. I'm very honest with the fact that my schedule is kind of all over the place. Like I said, you know, or I didn't say this, but, you know, we did bath time right before hopping on this call. Like my husband put my son down to sleep. Okay. Like we are developing sort of our own rhythm, our own routine of how we are going to make, you know, things work. Monday night team call. Okay. When we got to make it work. Right. Like same thing with my invites in the morning. All right. Even if it means getting up 10 minutes, even when I would rather sleep 10 minutes before my son gets up, I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find those small pockets. While life is crazy, I'm going to show up and do it. And it might be a little bit stressful for me right now. It might not be how I ideally want it to be, but it's not going to be forever. And this is what I chant to myself and all the time. And I'm going to remind you, and I'm going to encourage you to say it to yourself, like have it be one of your mantras. Now is not forever, in a good way and bad, right? So if you're in a hard season, now is not forever, and you're on your way to a better one. If now is a good season and you're kind of like sitting on your coattails, like now is not forever. So you need to keep pumping the well, and you need to keep showing up, because what you're doing now is what's going to affect you in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 6 months from now. Okay. And create an environment that you want to be a part of. All right. So like I said, if you focus on the people that are showing up, and you focus on the things that you like to see, want to see, and you shout those out, you're going to attract more of that. Okay. So whether right now it might just be your social media, create the environment that you want. All right. If you love this community and you love what it's doing for you, and you love positivity, and you like want to attract more people that are wanting that kind of positivity, then put that out there. Keep putting it out there every single day. Okay. Because that's what's going to plant those seeds in those people watching you. All right. If you want more people to show up in your boot camp, if you want more people to get, like I said, fall in love with their own journey and fall in love with this process, right? Fall in love with this growth process, then cheer on the people that are showing up and shout them out. And, like I said, you can always check in, right? You can find ways to check in, whether it's, through a text message, social media, whatever. And in your team page. Okay. So shout out the people that are showing up, shout out the people that are doing the work, and shout out the people that are putting in the effort. Okay. Because those people deserve to be seen. And if you put that out there, people are watching, people are seeing that, and people want to be a part of that. Okay. People want to be a part of a positive community. All right. Focus on your joy. Okay, this is probably one of my things I write every single day in my planner when it says, what's your focus for the day? Or if I'm doing a meditation and I'm in it, it's like you have to choose words that you want to focus on. I always think of joy because I want to feel joyful. I want to find the joy in my day, okay? And if you're not feeling joy and you're not feeling happy, then what are you doing, right? That's how you know that like something's off, okay? So when you're feeling that off, when you're feeling that doubt, insecurity, whatever it is, struggle, you need to, like my first, before you pump the brakes, my first tip of advice is to just get in the habit of pouring back into yourself. And for me, and we're all different, and this is where learning your Enneagram might be kind of helpful. We talked about this in a long while, but I am an Enneagram 2, so I'm a helper. But I'm also a wing 3, which means I'm an achiever. Okay, so that, like I said, I can get really caught up in the achieve mode and comparison, and I can kind of burn myself out. So for me, as a helper, the thing that I need to do the most is to be selfish. I work my best and I give my best when I focus on me more, when I pour into myself more, because I inherently am always trying to give. I'm inherently always trying to help. And that, like I said, can go good, but it can also go bad, right? Because I can try and help people that don't want to be helped. I can, end up causing more harm than good sometimes. So that's something that I always have to gut check myself, because when I feel really out of whack, or I feel like nothing's happening, nobody's working, blah, 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 that's when I know that I need to pump the brakes. And that might even mean me taking a little bit of a break. Like sometimes it means me really just unplugging a little bit more, being more intentional about unplugging, or just literally, like I said, not putting myself out there so much and pouring back in myself. So diving into my personal development, diving into my self-care, diving into my program, whatever that is. So you need to do what speaks for you, to you. So whatever personal development, professional development that speaks to you is what you need to focus on. So if you're struggling with inviting right now, or you're struggling with that, if a lot of your struggle right now is coming from identity, like coming from your lack of confidence, or just like I said, that comparison, then you need to listen to things in books that are really focused on your self-image. Okay. So Rachel Hollis, Jen Sincero, all of those books are books that I read the first 3, 4, 5 months of my coaching journey, because that's what I the most struggled with. What was going to help me show up on my social media every day was listening to personal development, and people telling me that I was a badass, and people telling me that it's okay for people not to, understand your dream, or it's okay for people not to, you don't need other people's approval. So whatever you're struggling with right now, and maybe your struggle is coming more from a leadership standpoint. Maybe you're at that point in your business where a lot of your anxiety or struggle is coming from more of how to lead your team, or how to grow your business, or how to, again, adopt that CEO mindset, or hone in on it and become more of a leader. Then you need to be listening to professional development, first of all, but you also need to be kind of leaning into things that focus on that. Okay. So for me, when I was going through that kind of season, I was listening to a lot of Grant Cardone, completely out of my comfort zone. He is not my typical jam, but that's exactly the point, is I needed someone that was tough love and going to tell me like it is and make me think more black and white like a CEO. Okay. Um, so I cannot emphasize that enough. Like I said, slide one, you need to focus on, it's part of your personal growth. It's part of you being a product of the product. It's part of you just showing up in general. You need to focus on in 10 minutes. Right now, that's pretty much all I'm getting in, is about 10 minutes a day of personal development, but it matters and it will make a huge difference. Okay. So lean into your discomfort. All right. Guys, lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in. When, like I said, when you start to feel these struggles, you start to feel this discomfort come up in your life, in your business, you need to learn to lean into it instead of against it, or, or resist it. Okay. Because that's the only way you get past it. All right. So lean into it. Ask yourself, like, what can I do right now? Or ask yourself, like, just literally, like, just take some sort of positive action, even if it might feel like it's not doing a damn thing, but I promise you it is. Sometimes it's just like asking someone, like reaching out to someone, asking for their advice. Sometimes it's reaching out to, like I reach out to people, coach friends of mine, like people that are not on our team. Like sometimes I'll reach out to them and I'll just ask them, like, dude, like, what are you doing that's working? Like, what's going on? Like, how are you, like, are you feeling this way? Like, have you come like, just asking for, picking someone's brain sometimes can be the thing that helps you find your new focus and helps you get out of your own way and on, like, out there and on to the next, right? On to taking some action. So lean into that discomfort. Okay. Like, and sometimes, like, it's your personal development. Maybe you just need to switch it up. Or maybe you are, like, really not feeling yourself physically, and it's because you really need to really dive into your nutrition more. Or maybe it's because you aren't in love with the program you're doing and you're just showing up because you feel like you have to. Maybe you need to switch it up. You never know what it is, but if you don't lean into it, you're not going to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, if you don't choose to take it on, it's going to hinder you. Okay. It's going to affect you negatively. Lean into your team. Okay. Bond with them over the ups and downs. So something that I see way too often, and I know, like, this can be tough because of, again, personalities, but I challenge you to lean into your team. Lean community that you joined and are a part of. Okay. If you are struggling, lean into them. If you are doing well, lean into them. Learn, like, this is what I love about coaching, you guys. Like, the number one thing I love about our community is the people that I've met and the friendships that I've made. But you know what? The people I am closest to are the people that lean in. They're the people that come and lean into our community and lean into, come to me, or I go to them, because they're showing up, right? They're showing up. They're being a part of everything. They're reaching out. They're asking for help. They're cheering people on. They're positive. They're like go-getters, okay? That's where you're going to find your people, okay? But if you find that you're struggling, or you find that you're feeling insecure, you're doing a little bit of that comparison game, the number one way to get past that is to go cheer on the people in your team. Cheer on the people doing well, and don't just cheer them on, but ask them, what are you doing? Like, team up with them. If they're doing something well, privately message them and see if they want to maybe combine and do run your boot camp together. Or maybe just ask them, like, you're freaking killing it. Like, what are you doing this month? Like, what kind of invites are you sending? Maybe I'm struggling with my wording, or I'm feeling like it's not really like me. Sometimes just getting that little bit of inspiration of, like, seeing what someone else is doing can kind of give you the inspiration that you need to go, not copy them, but go make something that's your own. And that's really going to rejuvenate you and make you feel confident and really go out there and get after it again. Okay. And lean into the parts of the community that make you happy. Okay. So this is kind of twofold. So if you're someone that loves community and you join this because you wanted to make friendships and you wanted to, like I said, you want to go to Summit, you want to go on trips, you want to go to the retreats and things like that, then you need to lean into the things that make you happy. So lean into, again, your pods, lean into your coach, lean into your team page, lean into your boot camp. Okay. But you also need to, lean into team call, because that's really where I started to feel that huge sense of community as a newer coach. By showing up for my team, showing up, on our team calls, and showing up, and, even just so I could be on that leaderboard and have that recognition, and going, earn that trip to that Success Club trip, earn that trip to New Leadership Conference. Like, I joined this because one of the reasons I was so attracted to coaches and so attracted to this community is because I craved that. I didn't have that confidence back then. I didn't have that opportunity back then financially and or just like in general. Like, I craved to be at those types of events, even though they scared me shitless. Like, I craved to be on those trips, even though, like, again, traveling scares, traveling alone or doing anything on my own at the time scared the crap out of me. It still does. Like, but I knew deep down that that's what I wanted. That's part of my why, right? So lean into that. That's why I lean in. That's why I took that leap for coaching, is because I knew that that's what was going to get me there. Okay. By leaning into this, coaching thing, it was going to put me on the path to start experiencing those things that I really wanted to experience, become the person that I really wanted to become, and become friends and meet the people that I really wanted in my life. Okay. And now all of that has happened and continues to happen, but it happens by leaning in. Okay. So it might not be totally convenient all the time. It's all circular. Okay. Hitting Success Club is not just, again, it's not just about hitting Success Club. It's about, what does Success Club really mean? It means it's a reflection of you growing. It's a reflection of you doing the work. It's a reflection of you getting one step closer to your goal. Like, it is not just Success Club, okay? And, showing up on team calls, not just team call. It's showing up and building that community with your team, like them looking forward to seeing you come on, and you showing up and showing your coach, like, how seriously you take this. That is a huge sense, a huge community builder right there, okay? All right, I think this is my last tip. Yeah. So my last tip is focus on your goals, okay? So I mentioned this before, but what you are doing right now and or not doing is what's going to determine everything, okay? Your daily goals, your weekly goals, your monthly goals, you need to kind of have those like an idea, all right? So daily, show up, drink your shake, do your workout, send your invites, show up for your team page, show up for your team. Weekly, I would say, like, I like to set the goal, like, I'm going to change at least in when I was a new coach, like, it could be a number of invites you want to send that week. It could be that you want to change one life each week, or you want to change 2 lives each week, like having some sort of like ballpark goal for the week. Okay. Or that you're going to be really on point with your nutrition this week, or you're going to, do all 6 workouts this week, having those weekly goals. Monthly goals, Success Club, right? Hitting Success Club XYZ, setting a Success Club goal for yourself. I want to change this many lives this month. I want to hit this rank this month. I want to hit this milestone, team builder, whatever. You might not know what that is. You go Google it, okay? You have to have that kind of vision. You have to have that kind of mindset, right? That's part of that intentionality, part of that, treating this like a business. You got to have goals, okay? So where do you want to be in a year, right? We come into this and we talk about our goals and our vision on almost every team call. But you guys, It is not there. It is not sexy on how you get to that goal that you have. Okay. It is not attractive. It is literally mundane when you really break it down, because it's doing the same things over and over and over and over again. It's all like the only thing that there's no secret to it. It's literally showing up every single day and doing those vital behaviors. It's showing up and doing your invites and follow-ups even when you don't feel like it. And it's hitting Success Club, and it's not just Success Club 6, but then you're hitting Success Club 10, and then you're hitting more than Success Club 10. And before you know it, all that's compounding, and you're bringing in, you know, consistent money and consistent paychecks, and you've got new people coming in, and oh my gosh, now they're falling in love with the community, and they want to coach and all this stuff. It's that compound effect. Okay. That's what gets you to those goals. All right. So what are your personal goals? This is kind of asking you like what your why is, like your financial goals, like all of that matters, and all of that has to stay in your like immediate frame of focus. Okay. That's why I write out, you know, part of your routine every single day. If you don't do this, I know Shannon has mentioned multiple times how she hadn't been writing down her vision every single day. She's been writing, I think I don't know, it's been well over like a few weeks that she's been writing out her affirmations every single morning. You guys, that makes a huge difference. Okay. Putting it in the forefront of your mind every single day, visually writing it out, seeing it on paper, it's going to remind you what you're doing every single day and why you're doing it. Okay. Success Club Trip 2020, the way that you get invited to the Success Club trip is by hitting Success Club. Okay. You do not have to, and let me debunk a myth real quick. You do not have to be a coach hitting Success Club for like a year to get invited to the Success Club trip. We've had new coaches that were hitting Success Club maybe 3-4 months in a row, maybe 5, that got invited to the Success Club trip. And you guys, once you get invited and all that stuff that you've been doing leading up to that, all of that counts towards once you accept your invite. So like all of those lives you're changing, basically the lives that you change each month, like equal out to dollars or money that is going to your trip. Okay. So Beachbody honors the number of lives that you change and amounts that to a certain amount of money each month off of your trip. Okay. That's how you earn your Success Club trip. Okay. So you'll get quarterly like updates of where you're at with your, you know, with your trip earnings. And basically, so the cruise that I took last year, I paid for my flight there, but I got the whole thing paid for. Okay. Punta Cana, I had to pay for our flight there, but I got everything else paid for. That's what I mean. It's like, yes, you have to get yourself there, but you get the whole freaking trip paid for. Okay. And that doesn't even include all the trips and parties and celebrations and swag and all that stuff that you're going to get when you're there. Okay. And the memories and experiences that you're going to have. So if that's on your vision board, if you want to go, where are we going? Bahamas next year? Oh my God, Mexico. We're going to Mexico. If you want to be at those trips, you can still get invited. If you want to be at next year's trip after that, then you need to start being consistent with your Success Club. Okay. Ending on that, because that's really a huge gut check, because go back to that first slide, have that non-negotiable mentality across the board with your daily routine, with your daily vital behaviors, with hitting Success Club, with your goals, with, you know, all the things that go into part of being a coach. Because you guys, when you take that seriously, when you take yourself seriously, when you take this seriously, it will pay off. It will pay back tenfold. I promise you. But you have to treat it that way. Okay. Just like you can't give yourself, you know, like sloppy seconds and expect you to show up and not get ill or not get burnt out or not feel anxious and not feel all of this, you know, have it come back, right? It does. You know, the times that I will say personally, like I feel like a new woman now that I'm able to work out again. And just even though I was doing just yoga or getting outside in the sunshine to go for a walk made a huge difference. These last few weeks where I've literally like been immersed in, you know, all of you moms already know all about this, but like it's not about you anymore. Like you're literally like, you take all of your personal needs and it's now his needs come first. And eventually like you can find a way to make it work. But in the beginning, it was so overwhelming for me. And what's so hard about it is, like I said, I'm a 2, like I need to pour into myself or else I crumble. And I felt that, and I saw that, and with my relationship with my husband, just our household, it was just a very stressful environment for a little bit, like, because I was so burnt out. So you have to find a way, because it all comes back around, right? Just like, and I know, and like, you will be disappointed if you don't show up for those goals. You'll be disappointed. Like, you might feel better in the immediate moment when you skip those invites, or when you skip that team call to go watch, whatever show you're going to watch, or go do whatever you're going to do. But it all comes back around, okay? And it all comes back to that point of you realizing, like, you're not where you want to be. And that doesn't feel good, okay? But like I said, we all feel this way. We all feel struggle. We all go through hard times. So when you're in doubt, just go back to the beginning, okay? Go back to those vital behaviors and ask yourself, am I, committed to my health and wellness? Like, am I showing up there? Am I showing up in my business? Am I committed to my business? Am I showing up for my personal development? Am I showing up for my why? And if you can answer those questions, then you know that you're on the right path, and you know that you're going to figure it out. And it's probably just a fluke, right? But most of the time there's something off, right? Most of the time that's exactly what helps me figure out where it is that I'm not showing up enough, or maybe I need to make a tweak. And that's all it is. Learn to tweak, learn to pivot, learn to lean in. And I promise you, there's no way you won't be successful. All right. I saw some stuff in the chat, but I didn't see. I'm almost positive. What ended yesterday? What did I miss? Oh, the 135?
The summit. Yeah, the ticket.
Oh,
it
dang.
was July 19th at midnight.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. So the journal thing, so the Panda Planner is nice for like a planner. Well, I recommend you have a planner. That would be really helpful. I know some people like digital. I'm not a big digital person. But I will say that the Rachel Hollis Start Today journal was really great. I only bought one because the truth is that I actually do that on just a piece of paper every day. So I don't actually use a specific journal anymore. But if you're someone that really wants, like, you want it laid out for you, I would use that, because she has you start out, write like 5 things of gratitude, and she has you write your 10 affirmations or vision statements. And then at the very bottom, she has you focus on one vision, like one statement out of those, like, that you want to happen in the next, like, immediate, that you want to focus on primarily. So like for me, it was, I wanted to pay off the rest of my student loans. So like, that's something I write every single day. Like, that's at the forefront out of all those visions. Like, this is the one I want to happen in the most immediate sense, like immediately. So that's what I would recommend. But again, you can do that yourself. That's what I do every day on my notebook, is I write the date, I write out 5 things I'm grateful for, I write out my affirmation statements, and then I like journal a little bit at the bottom. And sometimes what I used to do is I used to do up my invites on that same page. So I literally just get a notebook and I would write it all there, and I would jog my people I invited or followed up with right in the side margin. Does anyone else have any other questions? No? Well, yay. I'm so glad you guys hopped on. More people hopped on when I was talking. thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. And I hope this helped. And like I said, just know that you're not alone and know that it's completely normal. I know we say that all the time, but it truly, truly is. And do not stay silent if you're struggling. Lean in and ask for help, and you will figure it out. All right, guys, you're welcome. Bye.